Show my 32
Let's get it!
Broadcasting to you from a little grass shack in the middle of the Pacific.
Live in the place to be.
Well, they're actually in the Bay Area.
Yes!
But they are the premier Pacifica show that shines a spotlight on positive Pacific Islanders.
You listening to the sound.
Role models coming brown every Thursday night at 6.
East to west, we getting hurt.
Brought to you by Pacifica by Design. It's the iconic FICA podcast with your hosts, Naki and Carl.
And there we go. Well, go figure.
Okay, we started at 6 o'clock. That's not
money.
Not always a given with this show, but hey, we're here on time today. And season 10, episode 3. We got a doctor in the house in the second half.
Nice.
Dr. Dylan Tarrant. And so we got a lot to cover. Mainly, one of our big things we're going to cover is Oceania Day. That was this past weekend at the De Young Museum in San Francisco. A lot of amazing things happened in that building with the community and the art and the culture. So we are that's probably going to be the bulk of our check-ins. We got our check-ins, we got our community announcements, and then we have Dr. Dylan in the back half. Naki, what's good?
Oh my gosh. It was such a great weekend. First Sunday, I thought I was going to rest. So Saturday, Saturday, we went to Oceania Day, and that was the whole day. And it was such a good day, and I will get back to that. But Sunday, I got up early and went to my niece plays volleyball. And my niece Kalea, she played in Redwood City. And so I text my niece, her mom. So Kalea is my great niece. And then I text her mom the night before, and I said, what time is her game? We're going to come. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. So then I tell Mo, we're going to Kalea's game. I'm just waiting for Molly to get back to me. Mo gets up at the crack of dawn and says, come on, let's go. We're going to go to Redwood City. This is an hour, maybe an hour and a half, hour 15 away from where we live. And I said, let's wait for Mo. Let's wait for Molly to call. No, the volleyball games go all day. We'll just go and catch one of her games. We are in Redwood City at 9 a.m.
What time do the games start?
The games start as early as 8, I believe.
Okay.
At 9 a.m., my niece, Molly, texts me, hey, Auntie, we just woke up. I'll let you. And I was like, the hell? What you mean you just woke up? She says, Kalea's game starts at 1. Her first game, she plays at 1. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. And I tell this man, didn't I tell you? And so then by then we're like, all right, let's go to breakfast. Let's go to this material place in San Jose, which San Jose is not too far from Redwood City. I want to say maybe 20, 30 minutes away. So we go to San Jose to this material place where they have hecka PI material, like the pattern. Is it patterns or
the designs?
The designs. There you go. Micronesian, Polynesian, Melanesian designs are at this material place. Nothing but PI material and designs. Of course, I go in there and I see Tally, who's, of course, Polynesian. And then she's there with her family and they're picking out material. I was like, oh my God, San Jose, where this material place is. So me and Mo walk around for, I don't know how long. We get a pattern because I like this Fijian pattern that I see. And so we get the material and I have to find a seamstress. So y'all help me in the Bay Area. And then after that, we go to breakfast. We find this bowling cafe or something like that. And in San Jose.
What is it? A bowling cafe?
Yeah, it's called Bowling Cafe something. I don't know, but it's a bowling alley and they
Oh,
have a cafe in it. The food was so good, but the portions were so big. So, you know, I'm sure people will love that place. So, we had breakfast. What did I have? I had sausage, and but they gave you four big, and it wasn't like the regular breakfast sausages. It was like big. I don't want to do the hand movement.
like links.
Yeah, links. It was sausage links, hash browns. I had like three scrambled egg whites. I ate all of that. And then um, it was so good. So then we go to the game, we watch Kalea's game. Her parents were there and her sister. We had such a good time watching her play. She's a great volleyball player. We talked about she's a junior in high school, so she'll be looking at colleges. She wants to go to Hampton. That's her number one school, Hampton in Virginia. It's
Uh,
a HBCU, so I'm praying for her to get in there. And then,
is it different going to, because you lived at the volleyball tournaments with Lay? Was it different going when you're just showing up for a particular game, and
yeah,
or
because
does it still
we
feel
don't
the
have
same?
to pack up. We didn't have to pack food for the day. We did though, because we had leftovers from the day before, the muffins and bananas. So we took that for her team.
Oh, I still got bananas.
Yeah, we do too. So, but it's more relaxing. You know, we don't have to stress about, okay, you know, like let's get in there and make sure that she has everything. That was not my job. We got our chairs, and in between games, we hung out and really got really good quality time with my Molly and Steven and Kalea and Kyrie. So that was Sunday. But Saturday was Oceania Day in San Francisco at the De Young Museum. It was such a great event. It was such a great event
From beginning to end,
from
from the
beginning to end. And here's the
open.
flyer that you must have seen it on our page a million times, but I really want to shout out De Young Museum. They did a great job of hosting all of us. Samoan Solutions did a great job. They were the lead organizers, the lead group here. Epi and Donovan and Leash. I mean, all of them did such a great job. Utopia SF, PJ was there. He facilitated. Fa Samoa Initiative, San Francisco PI Culture District, Ana Mahina, who took care of entertainment. She, like, big shout out to Ana Mahina. She's with San Francisco Tongans Rise Up. The San Francisco Unified School District was there, ERS, you know, and then just big shout out to all the organizers. And can I just tell you, there were no sponsors other than De Young Museum because they hosted us. But everybody on this flyer, Utopia, Samoan Solutions, SF True, like all these organizations donated their time. None of us had funding. We just donated our time and energy. I think the good thing about it is that everybody that was connected did it for the love of we have to be at this table, right? We
That
have
was
to be
one
at
of
this
the
table.
that was one of the things that I loved seeing was there were multiple organizations there. None of them are getting paid.
Right,
Everybody's helping everybody out.
right.
So when the Siapo needed to go up, right? It
Everybody
just
pitched
needed
in.
to go up, and people were going over there and helping randomly, like, oh, they just need help. So it
Right.
doesn't matter what organization you're from.
Yes.
But
I love that.
I can't stress this enough about the Young Museum. Their staff was as committed
Oh my God.
as any of the PI organizations
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
that event to go successful for us. I haven't seen like a hosting facility be that committed to making sure that the event goes the way that we wanted it to go. I mean, from the moment we showed up
Mhm.
hours before the Ava ceremony, like we were
Mhm.
there way early. They greeted us the minute we came through the door. And we had been there before, but assuming we hadn't, they were greeting us, bringing us to the elevator, taking us up to where we needed to
Right.
go. Everybody it was the same thing. So yeah, to see them so committed to making sure that the event was
They were so
successful
awesome. They were
was it was wild.
it was wild. They did such a great job of hosting all of us crazy people. And what I loved about it is that all the organizations came together and we just pitched in. We didn't do, oh, Someone Solutions is taking care of that, or PBD is taking care. Like, you need help, we're like in. When I loved watching the Seattle display go up, everybody was in. Like, oh, you need help? Oh, let me carry this. Oh, let me do that. I mean, it was such a great event, not only for the community, but for all the organizations involved. So I really, I mean, like, I was crying at points of the day just because how beautiful it was. And I was like, look at us. We're having an event at a really nice museum, a really nice museum. So, we're
Yeah,
just
that was legit.
young.
Seeing our art in a
Mm,
world class museum in one of the most culturally vibrant cities
yes.
in the United States and maybe the world,
Right.
right?
Right.
To see our culture there in that on that platform
Right.
was touching to see that we weren't, and we'll do it in a garage, we'll do it
Yeah.
in some old building, but then to see that that touched my heart
Yeah.
to see us there. And then I was part of the wrap up with the Young Museum last night,
Hmm.
and I was kind of curious as I was logging in. It was a Zoom meeting, and I was curious, like, wonder how that's going to, like, if they got kind of turned off. Man, they loved it. They want to do it again. They were asking, how can we do better? I was like, how can you do better? I mean, there's some things. Obviously, it's our first time doing the event, so there was some things that we could probably do better. But they're fired up for next year.
Yeah. So here we see Epi she was just like at the welcoming table. And if you had questions or needed to get registered, and then our DJ who did a great job for the music for the kids, for the music just playing throughout the museum. I thought that was awesome. So he did a great job. Thank you to our DJ. We also had PJ, who was the MC for the entertainment area, and these are some of Mixed Persuasion. Thank you, Mixed Persuasion, who joined and their kids danced and did a great job. So thank you so much. Here is Ana Mahina, who, again, shout out to Ana Mahina for a great job she did in putting the entertainment part together. And that took a lot of work. And again, everybody's volunteering their time, which I love, love, love. And PJ, who's with Utopia, did a great job. So big shout out to Utopia and SF True and Mixed Persuasion. And then this is Nowie's daughter. She is part of SALT. And then the Ava ceremony, which opened up Oceania Day. Man, they did such a great job with it. Coach Wiley did an amazing job with the Ava ceremony. His Samoan was on point. Whatever he said, well, whatever he said sounded so nice, and very. It was beautiful to see the kids, the young folks, um, taking part in the Ava ceremony. And it was beautiful to see them, give a cup to the Micronesian navigators, to the Young Museum,
You know,
to Professor
what stood out to
Gary.
me was there was a youngster with a microphone, because they were trying to capture the interaction of the person receiving the cup.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
obviously, you're going to hear the person calling it out, right? But the to hear what the person receiving the cup said, they wanted to get the microphone there.
Mhm.
So to see her going with the microphone, knowing that that she didn't want to step on the culture, but she needed to get the microphone there. So
So
she
that
was
everybody can hear.
literally trying to make herself as small as possible and not be noticeable. You know what I mean? Like, it still
She did
have
a great job
the
without being
right, the
disrespectful.
integrity of, yeah, of the event happen, but she was there making sure that the audience could hear what the recipients of the Ava
Yeah,
were saying
it
before
was
they
great.
drank.
And
That was
everybody
beautiful.
that accepted in their native tongue, if I said that correctly. So it was so so nice to see. And so I loved every part of the day. Every part of the day I loved, but they really did a great job. And then here is Calera, who opened up with a Fijian song, a Fijian hymn. She did such a great job. Her voice is so, so beautiful.
She got pipes. Like
I
she killed that song. You could, I mean, I think there was when she started singing, there was like a kind of a hush went through the auditorium of like, wow. And then everybody just kind of relaxed and enjoyed it as she went through it. But
Yeah,
man, she was, it was
yeah.
beautiful.
It was beautiful, and it just I was teary-eyed when she was singing because I was thinking of her mom who passed the year before, so it was a beautiful, beautiful thing, and then here, we have Jaden who, what did he do? He did the land acknowledgement, and so that was beautiful. I love that that was added and that Jaden got to do it. He's such a good kid, so thank you so much to those 2.
Did a great job.
Did a fabulous job, and he's not shy, he's like he spoke loud, so, um, it was the whole the whole day was beautiful. I honestly can go on and on and on, and then you guys will get sick of me. Here's the Messina Seattle display that we were talking about, where everyone pitched in to put up, the displays. And it was like, it was so beautiful the way that it was displayed. And then you would walk by and take a look. And some of the Seattles were so delicate because they are hundreds of years old. And so everyone did a great job of putting it up, setting it
You
up,
know
getting the walls up.
what's interesting about the that display you see is there weren't enough stands. So there was enough poles, but there wasn't enough stands. So they
Mhm.
had to figure out, or we had to figure out how to you there should be 4 stands. There's only 3 because we didn't have enough that were
Ah,
functional. So
mhm.
you see those are put up in kind of a V because we had to use anchor both of those. But it's just that idea of everybody there was going to make sure that it was success. It was going to be a successful event. So if we don't have enough stands, we're going to figure it out. We're still
Yeah.
going to display everything. Um,
Mhm.
that was where it was early in the day, and it was just heart. It touched my heart to see everybody going, nope, hey, what do we need? Then
Yeah.
everybody get over here, and there's different people from different organizations,
Yeah.
just pitching in and getting it done.
It was beautiful. It was very beautiful. So thank you to everybody that helped with the display. And then we had the Micronesian navigators where Carl facilitated a Talanoa, and I'll let you give their names because I'll smash it.
Yeah, so it was Mario Benito, June Coleman, Cecilio Ryukulipi, and the person closest to me is Cesario Soderlu. And for
Hmm.
those of you that are somewhat familiar with Micronesian and Polynesian navigation, there was a journey that went from Hawaii to Tahiti back in the 70s. And Cesario's father was a legendary Mao Piailug, he's the one that was the master navigator that made that trip happen. So when I got asked on Thursday to
Voluntold.
facilitate this, I was like, and I was the same way. I was like, hey, whatever you need, I'll do. And they said, okay, so we need you um, to facilitate the Talanoa. And I was like, okay, what is it about? And then when I saw the names of the people, it was like a Christmas gift. I was like, wow, I literally get to sit next to and ask Mao's son questions about navigation and our history and all those kind of things. So to me, getting it all done in a half an hour was difficult because there was
Yeah.
only 3 slides to go through. And at the end, I was looking at Epi like, I've got a bazillion questions. You need me to, and I think I got one of my own questions
Hmm.
in that didn't really come off the slides, but it was, they were so confident
Yeah.
in their
They
art
were
and their
awesome.
craft. Like I asked a question at one point, what if you can't, so what if there's a lot of different ways to read, um, where to navigate. What if you don't have the stars? What if it's cloudy at night? And man, Mario Benito at the end of the line in that last chair, like usually there's a lot of humility, like people don't want to answer. He like immediately grabbed the mic and he was like, the current, and it was so fast. I was like, excuse me, and he said
It was
the
so
current,
awesome.
and he was like, "You're going to go to," and it was to see how it just gives you the idea of it doesn't matter where what's going on. They're 100% confident that they're
Yeah.
right, that they know where they're at, and
Mhm.
they know where they're going at what speed. Like all those, it was. I could sit and listen to them for hours, and they were kind of in
Mhm.
a whirlwind tour, so to call the West Coast, the Bay Area. They were in.
Yeah.
Did Berkeley do one earlier, and then I think they had one in Hayward the day after
Mhm.
ours. But yeah, big shout out for to them for keeping that craft and that culture, that piece of the culture alive. And then
Mhm.
I'm not even sure how we ended up with them at the event, but that was an
Yeah.
amazing piece of it.
It was awesome. So and then also PBD was part of the short film media showing. And then that was PD and MENA, Pacifica and Focus, which is a program under PBD. They are our program coordinators, program managers that teach a photography and videography, content creation, free class to San Francisco students or the Tay community. And they they asked their class or their cohort to create films to showcase that day and on stay and they spoke to the not kids, young adults um, during the filming of their all of them had great great shows, um, great videos. DJ, who's seated first, you see there, he did a film about his sister, his baby sister. And then Lisi did a film about where she came from and her upbringing. Nunu also did a short film about where she grew up. And then Fale pretty much did a like a mental health check for herself film. I mean, it was their first one. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell that it was their first one, because they did such a great job. They did such a great job, and huge shout out to, Mena and Petey, for facilitating and creating this class and teaching this class. I believe they're on their, oh my god, could be 8th cohort, but, out of these classes, people have switched, majors, like, like they wanted to be an educator or something, and then they switched to photography. They've inspired a bunch, like this generation, to just create and don't worry about what is happening around you, or just create and follow your heart, follow your passion, really. I think that's the most important thing. And then the kids loved the class. They were crying when they went up. They were crying when they were speaking about one another. And so Pacifica and Focus. They're on Instagram. Please follow them. The next cohort is coming up soon. Don't forget to sign up, sign up, sign up, sign up. So it was a great, I mean, every film was great. Everything that the kids learned was showcased there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It was such a great day. And to see these youngsters create and be passionate about it. And just all of them were literally crying when they got up. So um, thank you so much for PD and Minna for a great showcase that they did that day with their students.
Yeah, they definitely poured their hearts
Hmm.
into those short films. And then there's a film from Fiji.
Yes. Poem.
And there were two other films that were not from Pacifica and Focus. So
Hmm.
you think about that from a what happened that day. They
Hmm.
were premiering short films that Pacifica and Focus was the cohort had put together, and then also two other films. So it was a really um, interesting day to see it from a kind of an international level, and then to see the Pacifica and Focus cohort finish it off,
Yeah.
and see how emotional it was to them. It was a really cool moment, and I would think that there are people that if you're looking to learn how to shoot and all the angles with kind of the secrets of digital creation, then
Right.
Pacifica in Focus is and it's free.
Yeah, and it's a free class from San Francisco. You just go to Pacifica and Focus, click the link, sign up for this free class. And just again, shout out to PD and Mena for a great job, and their students, DJ, Lisi, Nunu, Fale, great job on their films. CJ is on. Hey, CJ, my Evie, Mo, and Petey was on. So thank you to Petey. In front of the navigators, you'll see gifts. All the organizations had given them gifts just to thank them for coming. And so huge shout out to all the organizations that gave. PD gave t-shirts, ours gave baskets, Samoan Solutions, SF True, San Francisco Unified School District, PBD, everyone that was involved in the Oceania Day gifted the Micronesian navigators. So thank you so much to everyone that did that. So it was a great day. If you missed it, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Maybe not right away because it was a lot, but we're going to do it again. So grateful for the day. So grateful for all the people involved. And then we're going to do our community announcements because our Dr. Dylan will be popping up pretty soon. And there we go.
All right. Let's see. We are Pacific Islands Pit presents our first annual spring pickleball tournament. This will be hosted in a proud partnership with the city of Daly City. The tournament is going to be a dynamic round robin format. There are 6 games guaranteed, so there's none of the, get in and lose a game and then be out, or lose 2 games or be out. 6 games are guaranteed. There will be prizes and celebrations throughout the day. This happens on Saturday, April 18th. You can scan the QR code and Pitt's flyer for more information. Check them out on their IG page, and then check-in on that day on April 18th is going to begin at 9:30 in the morning. This event is going to be an observance of something near and dear to all of our hearts, the National Minority Health Month. We all got to worry about it. We all got to fix our health.
There you go. Tene Toa, brought to you by Mana Pacifica. They present Tene Toa, our Mana ourselves. This happens every Wednesday until April 15th from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at 1530 Sunnydale Avenue in San Francisco. Register by scanning the QR code on the flyer that you can find on Mana Pacifica's IG page.
The 5th annual Bay Area Pacifica Steam Fest is happening Saturday, April 11th at the San Mateo Event Center from 1 to 5 p.m. Scan the QR code on their flyer to register at We Are Pie Fest on their IG page. It's a free family event, all ages, hands-on activities, STEM exhibitors, STEM resources, Pacifica exhibits, cultural live performances, free lunch, and raffles, giveaways, and prizes. Don't miss out on the one and only Pacifica Steam Fest.
Awesome. Felafani. Save the date, mark your calendars for Felafani Festival is happening May 2nd at 1 to 3 p.m. in San Francisco. Follow their page. Go follow for more details.
And All My Usos 11th annual Family Day Barbecue is happening Saturday, August 15th at Gilman Park in San Francisco. Tons of free resources, free games, free entertainment, free food while supplies last. Don't miss out. We'll see you there. Email All My Usos if you'd like to be a vendor at info@allmyusos.org. The mayor himself was there last year, so don't miss out. August 15th.
Tato Amos Samoan Pacifica Art Exhibition is happening March 21st, which is this Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Presented by our guest, who was our guest last week, Willie Asuenga Salavea and Scott Ribeiro at their private residence happening in Nevada, Henderson, Nevada. Check out their flyer for more details, and I will see you there.
Naki's making that trip. Right, the city of Carson's Samoan Heritage Festival has had a change of venue. The date, June 27th, the starting time, 11 a.m., remains the same, but the location will now be at Foysia Park at 23410 23410 Catskill Avenue in the city of Carson. It's still a free event with the vibrant Samoan culture on display through live music, food pop-ups, Siva Samoa, Siva Afi craft vendors, cultural art exhibits, and traditional tattooing will be on display.
Nice. Look at that. What we got next? Oh, they're hiring. Pacific Islander Initiative at UC Berkeley is hiring for their 2026-2027 internship. There are 15 openings available. Communications, programming, graphic design, political education, and community engagement are just a few of the different kinds of internship positions available. Apply by April 5th at Linktree Cal PII Initiative. There will be an in-person info session on April 1st in the Pico that will be led by current PI Initiative interns. Food will be provided because you know we need food to show up somewhere. You can RSVP at the same link. Pico is located in 249 Cesar Chavez Student Center on campus.
I wonder if that name will stick.
How about that? Yeah, I don't know about that.
How about that?
But guess
All
what?
right. Are you ready?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
excited for this
Here
guest.
we go.
I'm
Let's
excited
bring
for
them on.
Dr.
And Naki, you want to introduce our amazing guest?
Hi, Dylan.
How you doing,
Hi.
Doctor?
There
Hi.
you
Nice to meet y'all.
go.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God, we are so grateful for your time, and we love to hear everything about your journey. I just want to read just a little snippet from your bio. Dr. Dylan is a performance and movement specialist, chiropractor, and movement educator whose work sits at the intersection of dance science, somatic practice, and performance training. Currently completing graduate studies in dance movement therapy. Dylan explores how movement can support emotional expression, regulate the nervous system, and strengthen our connection with ourselves and others. Tons of other things. We want to hear you tell your story. Welcome to FICA with us, Dylan.
Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you.
We
Thank you
appreciate
so much.
your time. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your personal life, just a little, that we don't have on the bio so that people can get to know you.
Hey, so hello everyone. My name's Dylan Tarrant. I'm from California, so born and raised in the central coast of California in a small town called Santa Maria. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, Santa Maria,
I'm familiar.
805. And that's where I grew up. My dad is a Tarrant, so the Tarrant was on my Samoan side. I'm Filipino. Marapo is my mom's side. And I went to Cal State Long Beach for dance. I was a professional dancer. Was traveling, judging, teaching, performing, and decided there was more to movement that I wanted to explore. Got into chiropractic school and went to Southern California University of Health Science in Whittier, California, where I started dancing Ori Tahiti with Tiana Liafau at Nonosina is when I started exploring my Pacifica side. And ever since I moved here to New York after I graduated, I just thought, wait, there's more work to be done. And so, how can movement help communities heal, not just physically, but socially and psychologically through movement? And that's where I'm at today.
Awesome. And is there someone that influenced you to get into the field that you're in and dance?
So with dancing, I've always loved dancing. I actually didn't get into like Pacifica dance till later, but I was really inspired by crumping. So I grew up in like a really small town on the Central Coast and needed some sort of outlet. I tried football. I wasn't the best, and I like the whole thing. These shoulders these days, though, they grew because I was very
Okay.
Filipino back in the day. So everyone's
Okay.
like, you play football? I was like, no, I'm a dancer.
That's
So went to did some hip hop, contemporary, lyrical, modern, and when I went to undergrad, when I went to the chiropractic side, I actually had a dream that I was going to be a chiropractor, and my mentor at the time was kind of like I don't know if I like them. So I kind of was going through all these different directions. And finally, I was like, look, there's all these roadblocks. He's like, why don't you become a chiropractor? And I was like, I thought you said you don't like them. He said he didn't trust them. Just be a good one I can trust. And ever since I decided to go down that pathway, it was just easy. It was like the Lord said, this is what you're supposed to do, and just made the pathway like ebb and flow.
Wow. So you had a mentor that that overcame his personal bias because he saw it could be different for somebody else. Is that impactful? Because I just as you tell that, it strikes me that somebody said, I don't trust them, but hey, you could go change that I could have a chiropractor that I could trust. Is that something you carried forward with you?
Yeah, it's actually a big part of my story because it was almost like it's almost like my body knew, my ancestors knew that I was supposed to be a chiropractor. I was dreaming about it, and all of a
Mm.
sudden, this person was just like, I don't know. And then seeing how all these roadblocks happened, and for them to be like, hey, I understand, I don't trust them, but if you could be a good one I can trust, we can be in community with each other. Which I was just like, okay, let me just shoot my shot. Let me see if this is the right place for me. And it was definitely a learning curve because I still had some prereqs to do, and it was just I was like called my mom every day. I was like, Mom, I'm actually smart. I could actually do chemistry, and so it would just led into the next thing, and it's just yeah, I'm just very thankful to be in the field for chiropractic and now finding other Pacific Islanders who are chiropractors has been a really great journey to see us in this field when you don't really see us.
Yeah, representation is so big. Representation. I think that's a lot of why we do this is so that kids can see faces like yours and mine and other faces like them doing different things. I mean, and we always talk about like we're actors, we're athletes, which is awesome, but look what else we can do. Like look what else we can do. So I love that for you. And it sounds
Oh,
like because you're saying everything went so easy, it's like you found your once you find your passion or your calling, everything just flows, don't you think?
yeah.
Everything just flows like, oh, this is totally not a mistake.
It really felt like I was going with the current instead of going against it. It was
Right.
very much. I tried to become an athletic trainer, and even just getting the hours to observe. It was these different schools would be like, we're not allowing people to observe anymore. But to apply to school, you need 250 hours. So I was like, what do I do? And it was just one of those things where I just had to wait, listen, and kind of redirect myself of the pathway from the dream that I had back in 2015 when I first graduated undergrad.
It seems like that modality of medicine would fit a Pacifica person, right? Or
Yeah,
somebody that has Pacifica influence because of I don't know, the energy, the flow. Like it seems like that would be a natural pathway. Do you feel like that's helped you with being successful as a chiropractor?
it really has. I think because I even did a lot of my research too. Like even just thinking of like our ancestors were bone setters. They did full to help heal the body, not only physically but like mental and emotionally too. Like a lot of the traditional healers, not just did healing the body, but also the mental health as well that gets incorporated in there. Um, it felt right to become a chiropractor, and I do it a little differently too. I actually work with people for a whole hour. So the first assessment is just like, okay, we're going to go over your whole history. I do a lot of soft tissue work, so working on the muscles, adjust when need to, and then do a rehab program, getting them strong, exercises, and back to what they love.
I
I
have
love that you bring up mental health because that's a big part of everyday everyday life that we hardly talk about. Are you finding it easier with the patients that you have to actually bring the subject up or just to discuss it?
Yeah, and that was my it was so interesting. I was like, Lord, I'm finally done with chiropractic school. And this was back in 2022. And my last semester, I kid you not, there was at least five different patients that came in, and I would just be like, "Oh, I see we've been at a 2 out of 10 pain for the past 4 weeks. What's going on?" And as soon as I invite that question of like, "What else is going on in our life?" Like, we have this pain in our neck. And also, what is it stopping us from doing, or what are other things affecting our perception of pain that we're having? And so people would break down and cry on my table. They would tell me about how they didn't get into a certain school, or talk about loss. And it just made me think about this biopsychosocial model of health, of the tension we feel in the body is not only influenced by, say, an injury, but the psychological, how do I feel mentally and emotionally? If I'm stressed, my shoulders are way up over here. Or if I'm lonely, I may be closed off here. And so if I'm always just adjusting the neck and working on the biological part, the psychological social aspect is bringing me to this closed off position. So if I don't address those parts of this whole person, then am I really doing justice for the person in front of me?
Because it'll continue to happen if you don't
Yeah,
address it, right? They'll continue to lock up, then they'll be back next week and two
yeah,
days. I love that. I love that you address that. And sometimes it just takes that little, what else is going on, for people just to let it go.
yeah.
They've been holding it in for so long and they just needed someone to say it to.
Yes. And just think about, like, when it, like, sometimes I sit, I'm like, oh wait, my shoulders are to my ears. I need to breathe. Wait, let me check into my breath. Even just, and that's why I chose dance movement therapy, because it kind of goes back to the body. So what am I feeling emotionally can present itself on how the body presents itself. So it's like, oh, I'm a little stressed. Okay, my shoulders are a little to my ears. Or like, you know what, I'm feeling very down today. My shoulders are slightly forward. I can feel that tension here in my neck. So just being in tune with the body, and what if we release the tension, how would that change the emotion? So that's how dance movement therapy is, listening to the body, and how do we change how the body moves to make some change within how we feel mentally and emotionally.
When I was teaching my kids to drive, they were they were sitting forward in their seat, and their shoulders, they were so stressed out, and so I kept telling them, hey, pull over, and I would tell them, hey, and I wasn't even like knowledgeable to your point, but I could see they were balled up, and I was like sit
Yeah.
back in your relax, take a deep breath, and let your shoulders come down. And they all of them after a while got it. And then at one point my daughter was driving up on cars too fast, and I said, hey, you need to leave more space between you. And she looked over and she goes, Dad, you need to let your shoulders down, like sit back and relax.
Ooh. Were you on the 405?
Thankfully no, but no, I think there's a lot of just like you, there's things we're not aware of that
Yeah,
we do just naturally, and that can have long-term health effects.
yeah. And I will say, um, being Samoan, being Filipino, being part of Pacifica, a lot of the stuff that I do within my job, I think is innate from a cultural aspect too. The way I'm able to attend care, it's almost like when I'm just yeah, kuana'i on Sundays, and like taking care of others and figuring out my place within the community and helping others find their space. How do they take up space too with when they're around other people? So yeah, I think any other Pacific Islanders out there that are watching this, like, we're natural healers, we're born healers, and we can facilitate that.
Dylan, are there dance moves that help certain part of the body that you use?
Um, there's not one specific movement that I use. What I'll typically do is kind of do like a check-in. So if it feels safe enough for someone to close their eyes, or kind of dim their focus a little bit, to kind of check in to their body of where do they feel tension, and listen to the impulses of how they want to move. And so a lot of times it can be as simple as, okay, we're going to go into breathing, or if they want to thrash, allow the body to thrash and get it out of the body. Because I think the hardest thing to explore when I was in dance movement therapy school was, um, how do I express these different emotions that I may not been able to do culturally, or be able to do within my family dynamic. So I'm thinking about emotions such as anger, of like, okay, if I'm angry, like, how do we express anger in a safe way, but also how do we get it into the body? Because when it's trapped, where does it go? It could turn into tension, frustration. So kind of just tuning into the other person's body and be like, hey, how do we need to move? Sometimes we're ripping paper, um, but kind of allowing the person in front of me kind of dictate like, hey, how are we moving today? So there's not really like a one size fits all for like a movement for therapy, but I will say I always try to connect it back to the breath.
That's great advice.
I have a good friend that's a chiropractor, and one, I'm going to give him a hard time because I'm in and out of there in like, I don't know how long, but it's a lot less than an hour. So I'm going to give him a hard time about that. But he talks about, he feels like that to a certain degree in the medical field, that the art of chiropractor is not as respected, and like regulations actually more difficult because there's not as
Yeah.
much trust for that as an art. Do you see the same thing?
Oh, most definitely. So every time I tell someone I'm a chiropractor, they think I'm a quack at first, or like I'll say someone will call me Dr. Dylan, and um, someone else will be like, "Wait, you're a doctor?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm a chiropractor," and they'll be like, "Chiropractors are doctors?" And we actually go through a lot of sciences. I was working on like cadavers, dead bodies, dissecting, using bone saws to see every single muscle, nerve, artery for 2 whole years, just learning about the body, and learning diagnosing and learning how like when not to adjust. So that's why a lot of times it's like I find it like a fun challenge for myself because I know already I think about people's already perceived notions about chiropractors, and I'd be like, oh wait, I can't wait to get to know you so you can get to know me and see how it's different. And that's why I love being with people for an hour too, is because I get to spend the time and listen to their whole history of health. When people feel rushed out of the office, the whole hour allows space and time to really understand, like, okay, it wasn't just you bent over and picked something up last week. There's something way back in the history where it first started, and sometimes going back to where it first started can give us keys and clues that sometimes a quick visit may not be able to do. So I actually love that people don't trust chiropractors because I just be like, come on, give me a try. And now I'm just like working with all these different people, and there's a lot of these referrals, and it's been a lot of fun because then now people are like, oh yeah, I know this chiropractor, and he's different. He's very different, which has been very nice.
Yeah, I've got to ask this. There's a guy on social media. I think he's out of Texas. He uses a towel to wrap around, like, and he calls it the ring dinger. And I don't even know if it's like legit, like, because the cracks and the noises that come out of those videos. And he actually has a mic on their bot. It's scary. And but is one, do you think that, have you seen it? You think, is it legit? And two, is there danger to doing it that way?
Um, Listen, there's all these different philosophies within chiropractic, different techniques. Um, I don't personally do any kind of distraction on the neck like that. For
Mm.
myself personally, I just think it's a lot of forces on the neck. Um, but there are some people that do use it. So um, I just am one that doesn't. It actually scares me too. I don't think I would let anyone put a towel around my neck and pull as hard as they can.
Mm.
Um, and I also don't know if I want to feel it in my tailbone if they're pulling on my neck. That's
Yeah.
just my point of view. But hey, they do a great exam. Make sure it's safe for that person at that time for that treatment.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I stick by my philosophy of knowing a good doctor knows when to adjust, a great doctor knows when not to.
That's a good saying.
That's a good saying. Is there or let me ask, for people that want to get into chiropractic work, is it just do you go to med school for 10 years? Like, what is the journey to get to where you're at?
Yeah, so you can actually get a bachelor's in anything. So you don't necessarily have to have, say, a bachelor's in kinesiology. I've had friends that didn't have a kines background and went to chiropractic school. But you get your bachelor's. You just have to have your prerequisites done.
Oh,
So I think there's 8 different prerequisites. And so having a bachelor's in kinesiology would fulfill either all or majority of those. Um, so if you had a degree that's not like kinesiology based, you may just have a few more prerequisites to do. And there are, I believe there's still 2 chiropractic colleges in California, the one in NorCal and the one in SoCal where I went to school. So as long as you have your prerequisites, at my school, you also had 2 different tracks where you could do it in 10 semesters versus 12 semesters. I did it in the 12 to give myself a little more time to knowing I wasn't the best student in undergrad. So I tell people, if you're thinking about doing it, if I could do it, anyone could do it. Because I will, full disclosure, I had a 2.89 in undergrad because I was really focused on my dancing and having fun. And then by the time I did my prerequisites and I got in, they put me on the 12 track, and the lowest GPA I ever had was a 3.0. And then
Nice.
halfway through, I was getting 4.0s for the rest of the time. So, it's doable, it's manageable. I just had to learn how to learn. And I don't think I was ever taught that in high school. Just learning how to learn is a tool in itself. Yeah.
I think it's different when you're really interested in the topic,
Yeah.
right? Once you got into what you were really interested in, then all of a sudden studying made sense. Like you wanted to learn more. I think that's a big thing that's hard to get through in terms of education is getting through all of the core classes and the prereqs and all those things, and then you finally get to what you're really interested in. It's not easy, but it's a lot easier than looking at books that you don't really care about the topic. You're just trying to check a box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Uh, uh,
yeah, all those sorry, go ahead.
oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead. And I was just one Evie who's watching. She said, "It's not how you start; it's how you finish." Way to
Amen.
put
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. And I was, again, undergrad, I was just having fun. I was more focused on my dancing. I was focusing on my professional dance career. And then it was just like, oh, I'm about to get kicked off my parents' insurance. Maybe I need to think about something else.
Right. Right. Did you implement like you dance with Nono Sina? Did you implement any island music into the music therapy, or is it a wide variety of music?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
There is within, so I go to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn for dance movement therapy. So if anyone's ever interested, Pratt Institute has a low residency program where you're there during the summer for 3 to 5 weeks, and then you have some courses, like online courses, for a week during the spring. But I definitely brought like myself into it. So it's a lot about, and I had to learn how to do that because New York is a very small place. It feels like a big world, but a small place. So having these Samoan shoulders and then like in a really big city, sometimes it's hard to really fully present myself. So I think it was really that journey of me becoming myself. And so I brought my own music. People would see my tatao and they'd be like, oh yeah. So it was just a way to open up and start building relationships.
Mhm.
I will say because at my office here, we do strength training, we train athletes, we train dancers, and a lot of the dancers that I do train, even if it's not therapy, I'll play like Siva Samoa music. I'm playing all my Samoan music, and they're just singing from the top of their lungs as we're doing some exercises. And so, really, fully bringing my culture to Long Island, New York, where I'm at right now, and yeah, even in those spaces, like the therapy spaces, bringing um, Samoan culture and bringing myself into those spaces because it's you don't really see it. It's very different. So being able to bring myself into it and relying on community. So there is actually a big Pacific Islander community here, and if it wasn't for my community here, I don't think I would have been able to go through that program alone. So big shout outs to the Pacific Islander community here in New York. Thank you because they really did support me while I was going through school.
Long Beach to Long Island, PIs on
Long
both.
Beach to Long Island.
That's right. I
I
love
have
it.
a best friend who's like 20 minutes away from me, and we were Instagram friends, and just we found each other, and we're like, oh wait, we were Instagram friends, and he lives 20 minutes away from me, and it's the first time we met in 2022, but we're friends on Instagram since 2014. So I was meant
Wow.
to be here for a reason. I met my best friend Blake Vienna. He's from Hawaii, Samoan Hawaiian, and we hang out like 3 times a week. I couldn't be here without my best friend.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Shout out to him. You know, we went to New York. I can't remember what year, but it was for the first Polynesian culture. Was it in Manhattan? Where was that?
Anyway, it was at Rockefeller Center. I think it was 2023.
Oh, so you guys were here for the Ori Tahiti competition.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I danced with Anthony. We performed at the Met last year for the opening of the Pacific um, Oceanic Arts at the Met.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we
Well,
did Ori
Wow.
Tahiti and Hula at the Met in New York City.
that's so awesome. And when we went, it was their first one that they had, but I was surprised to see how many Pacific Islanders
Yeah,
showed up and showed out. It was awesome. It was awesome.
yeah. And then it's come to the point where I go to the city and then you just kind of be like, oh, like I went to a show 2 weeks ago and I see this lady walking and she's like, are you Samoan? I'm like, yeah, I'm Samoan, you Samoan? And then taking pictures. So we're small but mighty because we all find each other, we all hang out. It's been really great because I couldn't have done it. Winters are hard, so definitely leaning on community during winters has been very, very helpful.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Is there anybody that has been a role model that you looked up to, um, that has helped you on your journey?
Um, I will say so. The reason why I'm here on Long Island is because my one of my longest role models, who was my dance teacher back when I first started, when I was 15 years old. I'm now 33. He actually built this facility here. We started in Temecula, California, and
Oh,
so he was my dance teacher who was just like, "Hey, like I see what you're going through. I know the struggles. It was really hard growing up, but it was like I see you clean the studio so you could take your dance classes. Um, Keep going at it, and really helped shape who I was with my work ethic. Um, we were roommates in when I was in undergrad, and then he started the business in Temecula. I was help running that business. And then he got me out this way. And he was like, hey, if you want, why don't you just move to New York and do what you're doing in Temecula while you build chiropractic? And so I moved out this way. And he's just been one of my biggest supports since day one when I first found movement at 15, dancing hip hop and crumping and contemporary and all that stuff on the Central Coast of California.
It's so important to have somebody that believes in you. Man, you were all Santa Maria to Temecula is like 3/4 of the state.
Yeah,
You've
see,
been
I've
all
been
over the map.
everywhere. I am all over the map. I'm looking to be bi-coastal again, though. So I'm hoping to be in Southern California, back and forth to back here on Long Island. Because I miss California so much. So I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to be back and forth.
I'm
and
sure
is your
you'll figure it out.
family in California?
Yes. So my parents are still on the Central Coast in even smaller town called Guadalupe. Um, it's like 10 minutes from Santa Maria. And then my niece and my nephew are down south in SoCal. So I kind of frequently visit. Thankfully, my sister works for the airline, so I can actually go see them quite
Oh,
often.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much we don't want to take up too much of your time. I know it's late there, but we're so grateful for your time. We loved hearing your story. I stalked you on Instagram. You showed up on my FYP, and then I was like, "Oh my god, we got to have him on. We got to have him on." But you just inspire me with your story, and I'm sure you're inspiring everyone around you. And we're so proud of you. We're
Thank
so
you so
proud.
much. I've been
Thank
following
you
you guys for a very long time. So when you messaged me back and followed me back, I was like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I feel so blessed because I'm very blessed to be in community with all of you and especially like growing up more on the Filipino side and really being embraced by my Pacifica side.
Yeah.
Papitay Lava, like thank you as I continue
Thank
to
you.
learn. And I was just in I finally went back to Tutuila to finally meet family and see where my grandparents are from. And so it's just been a very beautiful journey, and I'm so thankful to be here today.
Your
Oh,
community is proud of you.
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. Thank you so much for joining us. I will email you after because I want to talk more, talk more. But
Yes,
thank
I'll
you
be in
so much.
SoCal. I'll be in SoCal in a couple of weeks, just in case y'all are there.
Let us know.
Okay, let us know. Let us know. We may take that drive. We may take that drive. But
Oh,
Dylan,
sorry,
thank you.
where are you located?
We're
Sorry.
in Northern California. He's in
Oh,
Sacramento. He's in Sacramento, and I'm like, I don't know if you know where Fairfield is, but it's near Vallejo.
yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're in
But we
North.
get around. Naki's going to Nevada this
I'm going
weekend.
to Nevada this weekend for an art exhibition that's happening in Henderson, Nevada. So you never know.
Nice.
You never
And I'm
know.
actually going to be in NorCal, I think, on the 18th of next month, that weekend. So
Oh, well, we
I'm actually
definitely have to hook up. We definitely have to
Yes.
hook up. But I will email you. But thank you again so much. Congratulations on all your success and finding your passion. And we're just so proud of you. So and thank you so much for joining us on FICA. God bless you.
thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Dillon.
Bye.
Oh my God, he's a rock star.
Man, that's
He's a rock star.
you get some people are have that positive energy, like
Mhm.
just the energy just pops off of them.
Yeah,
That's one of them.
he's
That
awesome.
you can feel it. He's excited about life.
He is. Thank you, Dr. Dillon, for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time and the energy, and thank you for sharing your journey. Um, I can't wait to. Hopefully, we get to catch him when he comes to Northern California. But please go follow him on all social media outlets. Dr. Dillon Tarrant is on everything: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Go follow. And
Go
that's
find
it.
him.
That's it for us this week.
That's a
Um,
wrap.
that's a wrap. We are. Oh, I'll be in Vegas, people. I'll be in Vegas.
Look
So
out, Vegas. Here she comes.
I call you, Lily. I call you. I call you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you all so much. We're here every Thursday. Come back to FICA with us.
Love y'all.